All right, let's keep the recordings going. And this is going to talk about Professor Verene Shephard, and this talks about the issue of colonialism and reparations. All right. So Professor Verene Shephard says that Jamaicans thirst to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through Vision 2030 won't be a pipe dream if countries such as Spain and Britain do not own up to responsibility and pay out reparations for centuries of forced labor and decades of underdevelopment as they ravage Caribbean's resources to enrich colonial empires. Shepherd, the director of the Center for Reparation Research at the University of the West Indies, Mona told the Gleaner that the current levels of underdevelopment in Jamaica and other Caribbean nations are as a direct result of the legacy of slavery and colonialism. Quote unquote, I'm giving them credit to our post colonial regimes for doing their best, but they need to understand that it's not grants and loans that we need, Shepard said. Rather, it's an injection of capital to fix our society. Otherwise, we will not achieve the sustainable development goals and will not achieve Vision 2030. I agree with her 100%, but and she knows that this is deliberate. The thing is that it's not about them not understanding. It's that they know they understand. They deliberately want us to not achieve this goal of sustainable development. She said that reparation is now framed within the context of the right to development. Quote unquote, look at how much of the dollar goes back into debt servicing. We're saying to Britain and other the countries, fix back Jamaica and other Caribbean islands so we can really compete with you and truly be partners, which is something that they don't want. I mean, she knows that though, but that's just for those who are listening, that's not something they want, but let's continue. Quote unquote, you can't have globalization with unequal partners, and currently that is the case. Our resources were extracted to fix your country. Now you want to tell us that we need to compete at your level? No, you have to come back and clean up the mess you left, she said. Shepard said that research indicates that Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, Germany, Latvia, and Denmark, now with Britain, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, and France, basically all of Europe. That's what this is saying. Were the main actors in the transatlantic trade in Africans. The historian educator reasoned that Jamaica's march towards achieving Vision 2030 would also require a complete overhaul of the education system, which is said is based on equality and classism. Quote unquote, the schools are not equal. That is precisely why people are struggling to get their children to schools such as Campion College and so on, because they go to Trenchtown or some other school, the children don't come out the same way. Amen and amen. Let's continue. We have a problem and we're not linking those problems to the extraction of our resources, developed Europe, and the fact that we're now undeveloped. She charged. Alright, well, to be fair, we're never fully developed because these come or the Caribbean after the native the indigenous people were killed off. They never developed it up to the point where it was meant to benefit the African citizens who were forced to be in these islands. But all right, Vision 2030, Jamaica's strategic roadmap to guide the country achieve its goals and sustainable development in 2030, and is aligned with inclusive development paradigm of the United Nations that integrates the standards and principles of human rights participation, non-discrimination, and accountability. All right, end of article. All right, I have to give props to Professor Verene Shepherd. She's speaking the truth. I don't know if she left this up, but the overall thing is what she said is right, though. There needs to be financial compensation by Britain and Spain, who are the main forces that colonized Jamaica. All right, after the Spaniards come in and wiping out the Taino Indians, bringing Africans, and then British coming in and taking over the place from the Spaniards, continue the same trade in a more brutal and cruel fashion. And I agree. I agree with what she's saying that it's logical that these people should have paid us back financially. Also, just what better yet, set up infrastructures to fix the economic disadvantage that we have. No, what was said, which is unfortunate, that they know what they did. These Spain and Britain, these governments, which benefited off of our labor to help their own countries, respective countries, they know what the deal is. They know that the only overall solution is to just financially compensate Jamaica and other all the places that they colonized, but we know that is not they're not going to do it without a fight though. All right, they're not going they're basically going to look up Professor Shepard and people like who are say who have their heads on straight and are saying who are saying the same things that okay, yeah, we did this, we know that we suck the wealth and whatever economic benefits that this country had, and we took it and we used it to our advantage. But yeah, we're not just going to give it up. I mean, if you want to, you're going to have to kill us or just pry it from our fingers. That's basically what the case is, though. Is that there that we have to prepare for the fact that yeah, she's right what she's saying. All right, and the thing is, those that but we have to prefer to find a way. How are we going to get that wealth back? All right, because one of the things I've said so many times is that there's in Jamaica is that the system people are talking about how broken the system is. The system's not broken. The system was never meant to benefit the majority of populace. Is what Professor Dubois, W.E.B. Du Bois had said is that the system cannot fail those it was never designed to protect. And the system that we have in Jamaica, that which is still in the framework of colonialism, it is meant to keep us economically at a disadvantage. Because one notable thing to bear in mind is that when slavery, quote unquote, ended, that the plantation owners and their families were compensated, but not the Jamaican citizens. So that's basically what the deal is. Though. I mean, no, and I say it's the fact that she's saying the right things. The thing is, we know that they know this. They know that they did wrong. This is that they're not going to give it back to us unless we without a fight. No, no, no. So the thing is, though, is that how are we going to get that? We know what the issue is. We know what the Europe did to us, to the Caribbean, and most of the world on a whole. The question is, what can we do to get that the financial compensation that we need back? That's kind of what we should be focusing, because these people already know what they did to us was wrong, but but it needs to go beyond words. That I said, okay, how we're going to destroy the system that they purposely left to keep us disenfranchised, and better, how can we make sure that if we start getting on our feet collectively, how we're going to make sure that they don't try and sabotage us, because they're not just going to give this up to us though. And it's not to knock down what Professor Shepard said, is those that it's just that the problem is that these people knew what they did. And yeah, but the things that they do, they're not going to go and clean. They're not going to clean up their mess unless they're forced to or put in a position where they have to clean up their mess. And that's where we need to go. We need to stop saying, okay, oh, we did this and this one. They know what they did was wrong. Okay, they know that they put us in slavery. But the thing is that they don't care. They don't feel sorry about it. And the thing is that they'd rather than giving up the resources they stole, that they've been benefiting on for centuries, they're gonna they'd rather die, fight and die, rather than own up and doing the right thing, give it back. But overall, I'm saying is that we did we need to stop saying, okay, you did this and so on. What you're going to do to ensure that we get our compensation. So that's kind of what I have to say. Put this in my State of Jamaican Caribbean. Check my YouTube pages. Miles Gustin Farron, Miles Jet Productions. Okay.